My name is Dan Feldman, and I'm a staff scientist at the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab. I'm also the principal investigator of the Surface Atmosphere Integrated Field Laboratory, or SAIL campaign. SAIL is a field project that is currently underway in the Rocky Mountains near Crested Butte, Colorado. It involves the deployment of an atmospheric observatory, which we refer to as an ARM mobile facility, to this scenic and scientifically active area. With this mobile facility, the U.S. Department of Energy's ARM, or Atmospheric Radiation Measurement Program, is measuring precipitation, clouds, aerosols, winds, radiation, temperature, and humidity, and started doing so this past September. And the campaign will extend until 2023, so we are just getting started. So why are we doing this? The Mountain West of the United States is drying out, and the Colorado River, as the largest of the rivers in the West, exemplifies this change. Its discharge has been decreasing by about 10% per degree Celsius of warming over the last century, but that's not the full story. For example, this past year, the 640,000 square kilometer basin received about 90% of its historically average precipitation. So average year, slightly below average, but its discharge was only 23% of average. The discharge really fell off a cliff, and that led to major cuts in water deliveries downstream. That gap is a big problem and something the scientific community needs to understand and be able to predict. Even though the water is coming from the mountains, there are unfortunately extreme logistical challenges to making comprehensive measurements there. The lack of comprehensive observational data, however, makes it difficult to figure out exactly what we need to put into our forecast models, ranging from the weather timescales to the climate timescales. And then we also need to understand in our models how the physical, chemical, and biological processes fit together. We know these qualitatively, but quantitatively, we need to understand how they fit together at the surface, in the subsurface, and in the atmosphere at the same time. Historically, these disciplines of surface and subsurface research and atmospheric research have been siloed. The surface and subsurface researchers often view the atmosphere as their boundary condition, whereas atmospheric researchers view the surface and subsurface as typically their boundary condition. And the research communities across these disciplines need to work together to establish the crosstalk processes that do ultimately impact water. This is what's so exciting about SAIL. It's about bringing together researchers with a common purpose, which is to establish the minimum but sufficient level of process understanding that's needed to predict water resources on seasonal timescales. So why is this the focus? It's about setting a benchmark. By drilling down with focused resources and researchers, we can establish the level of detail that is really needed to predict water resources in the upper Colorado River. Can the scientific community get by with a few stations here and there, as it has been doing historically, or are coordinated, dense networks of observations, either low or high tech in nature, are those needed? As we face a future that doesn't have an analog in the past, we need to be prepared for understanding our observational needs. So SAIL scientists, operations managers, and the ARM program are working very closely with partners across the Department of Energy's Earth and Environmental Systems Sciences Division, including surface and subsurface hydrologists, and also with partners at NOAA through a sister campaign called SPLASH, and other federal agencies, including the USGS, Bureau of Reclamation, and state and local agencies, to create this benchmark data set for advancing scientific understanding of the modeling of hydrology in the upper Colorado River. If this sounds of interest to you, I do hope we can chat at AGU, or if your week at AGU is already filled, perhaps afterwards. This is an exciting time really to take a look at the first light of our instruments. We can use those, you can use those to explore low-hanging fruit, or to start thinking expansively about where your interests in research or in operations or science, where those can intersect with the SAIL campaign. The SAIL study area is highly active with researchers in many different disciplines, dozens of science and technology experts, and so there are many opportunities for collaboration and scientific advancement. Plus, the scientific area, plus the study area is simply fantastically scenic. If your research interests do involve field activities, I highly recommend you get out there. There's a town hall on sale on Tuesday, December 14th at 4:15 p.m. Pacific time as part of the AGU fall meeting. And the ARM program is also supporting virtual connections throughout the meeting, including on Wonders. So I hope we can chat there. Thanks so much for your time. Take care. Bye.